Getting ready to step into your career era? Set yourself apart with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Hone your skills with apps like Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and more, powered with the latest in creative AI. Students save over 55% so you can build a portfolio you're proud of. Launch your future with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Visit adobe.com/students to learn more.
Adobe Acrobat Studio, so brand new. Show me all the things PDFs can do. Do your work with ease and speed. PDF Spaces is all you need. Do hours of research in an instant with key insights from an AI assistant. Pick a template with a click. Now your prezzo looks super slick. Close that deal? Yeah, you won. Do that, doing that, did that, done. Now you can do that with Acrobat. Now you can do that with the all-new Acrobat. It's time to do your best work with the all-new Adobe Acrobat Studio.
Welcome to episode 51 of the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast. I am your co-host, Stephen Rothberg of College Recruiter Job Search Site, where we believe that every student and recent grad deserves a great career and that it should be easy and efficient for employers to hire them. I am joined here today by my Robin to my Batman, maybe. Peter?
Are you really trying to make me vomit on screen?
I've still got a sugar rush from Halloween, so I'm good.
Oh gosh. Anyway, I'm Peter Zollman with the AIM Group. We do business intelligence consulting and conferences for recruitment marketplaces, job boards, and the like. And a whole lot of our clients are investors. And with us today, we have Albert Bielinko of Telstra Ventures. Telstra Ventures, he got up like at 3 a.m. to be on this podcast. Clearly, thank you very much. Clearly, Meshugana, to use the Yiddish phrase. But he is in Australia. And we're going to start by asking you about Telstra Ventures and Telstra. And then we'll ask you about some of the great investments that you've made and how they're going to turn you into, a zillionaire. Although if you're a zillionaire in Aussie dollars, you're what, a thousandaire in the US dollars?
They're pretty comparable.
No, not today. Anyway, Albert, over to you.
Yes, great to meet you all. So I'm one of the 7 partners at Telstra Ventures. So we're a venture capital firm that started about 12 years ago. We've invested over $1 billion so far in 97 technology companies. We've had 18 unicorns in the portfolio so far, so companies that are valued at over $1 billion. And we've been really lucky to invest in companies like DocuSign, Box, CrowdStrike, GitLab, Forage, and many others. So I'll go into that in more detail.
You shouldn't call it been very lucky, by the way, because VCs who make good investments shouldn't call it lucky. You should say we were brilliant to invest in DocuSign, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they allowed us to put our money in, and look what happened. One of the ones you mentioned is Forage. I think of that as, going through the woods and finding mushrooms. But why don't you tell us a little bit first about what Forage does, and then how it fits into the recruitment marketplaces space, and why everybody should be watching it.
Yeah, very happy to. So Forage is a very interesting company that we invested in a couple of years ago. And what they do is they pioneer the train before hire model. And so that basically means that there's a pretty big information asymmetry between candidates and employers. So universities don't really prepare students for the world of work anymore. And so there's a big gap between what you actually work on and what you learn before you start working. And it results in poor decisions for the students, poor career decisions, and ultimately the industry bears the cost of that. And so what Forage is trying to do is they create job simulations that are very accessible anytime, anywhere in the world. They're very, very scalable. And so they're normally kind of 1 to 8 hour courses online. that give the opportunity for the student to try before they buy. And we think it has really significant benefits for both sides. So for the employers, rather than receiving thousands of mindless one-click applications, it really lets them understand who the most motivated and effective students are that are really high intent and resonate with their brand. And it really lets them get their brand signal out there, so educate the market on what it's actually like working there, what are some of the problems you'll solve. And so for the employers, they are typically sourcing between 20 to 50% of their hires from Forage programs. And we've also learned that employers are 4 times more likely on average to hire a candidate who's completed a Forage course. So we think that's really compelling. They've been able to actually bring on some of the best, most iconic companies in the world as clients. So companies like Goldman Sachs, BCG, they've got Electronic Arts, MasterCard, KPMG, the list goes on. But essentially it's flipping the model. So rather than the companies hiring someone and then training them, instead explaining with these virtual courses what a day in the life is like. Forage also integrates with thousands of university courses as well. So you can actually do a Forage course and get that integrated work experience while you're actually studying as part of your degree requirements. So we think it's a really interesting company.
And is it active in the States? Is it active globally, or primarily in the States, primarily in Australia? Where is it based and where is it active?
Yeah, so it's a Sydney-born company, but it's extremely global. I mean, the vast majority of its customer base and revenue is in the US. I mean, it really is an American company with some of the people speaking in a funny way, like I do. So it's very US centric. Lots of the biggest US customers are brands that you will all know. So that it's very global. And of the thousands of the universities, most of them are in the US as well.
And when Forage came to you, or your team went to them, what was it that attracted Telstra to make that investment into Forage? And I just want to preface this because I think for a lot of our listeners, they may be thinking about getting investment, whether it's from Telstra or another fund. And I think it might be instructive for them to hear, like, what was it about Forage that you guys liked that caused you to say, hey, this is a company we need to invest in?
It's an excellent question, and I always encourage founders to really focus on explaining the problem that they're solving, and just explain from a customer point of view what was life like before your solution and what is it like afterwards. That really helps. And so with Forage, we really liked how it was a unique model that we felt was beneficial for both sides. So it wasn't just kind of a small improvement on one side. It was quite a major update that for each side. So for example, BCG has 10 Forage courses. They're on the careers page. So if you click on the careers page of BCG, you'll be directed to a day in the life with a Forage course. And they've had more than 300,000 students actually do these courses. So the numbers are significant. And we just think there's a really strong value proposition for both sides. So for the student, you learn way more about careers you might have never known. I mean, when dinosaurs roamed the earth and I did my studies, I knew very little about what I was actually getting into. I mean, you're kind of at the behest of maybe a career advisor and maybe a little bit of Googling, but you didn't really get a strong sense of what a day in the life of working at a company is actually like. And so we just felt there was a really compelling value proposition. They had really strong traction. So lots of the best companies in the world were using them, like hundreds of companies using them. The founders were extremely articulate. Like they had a very clear vision of the future. And I think that makes a really, really big difference. And then finally, they were capital efficient, which it wasn't as popular in 2021, but it's obviously extremely timely and important now. So I think naturally being Sydney founded, we Australian founders typically don't have the same access to capital as Americans do. And so for that reason, from day one, they always did a lot with not a lot of resource. And I think as an investor, that's a very attractive quality.
Hi, I'm Carmen Hudson. I'm the host of the Recruiting Book Club, and we're starting our second season. I'm so excited to bring to you another set of guests of recruiters who have written books. We are excited to have some very special guests this season. We've got Shally, we've got Craig Fisher, James Ellis, and quite a few other people that we're going to bring on board to tell us about what they wrote, why they wrote it, and maybe we'll veer off into a conversation about recruiting on all types of topics and subjects that happen in our industry. So I hope you can join us. I'm excited.
Sounds good. Let's get to a couple of your other investments real quickly before we wrap up. You made an investment in Certain. You certainly thought it was a good idea. Tell us why.
Oh, pun intended.
I see what you did there. Yeah. So
I go for the cheap, you know.
Yeah.
If it's a cheap joke, I tell it.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah. So Certain is a company that we also thought was quite intriguing, and I mean, one way that they stood out straight away is there's a site called G2 Crowd which does software reviews, and they were the best rated company in the background check space. So basically, they allow enterprises to get background checks on prospective employees or staff very quickly. And so as remote work has become a lot more ubiquitous, and with the rise of the gig economy, the requirement for more of these checks has increased, and it's become quite critical. Actually, there's lots of people that are moving jobs more often than before. And so we felt this was a space that was ripe for innovation. They had a very strong API first approach, very product led, and we really like the quality of the product and then the expansion that they've been able to achieve. So we recently helped them to secure a large contract with Telstra Corporation, which is one of our major LPs or limited partners in our fund. And so just being able to win customers who recognize the faster time to get these checks done and the better user experience that's more kind of software defined, we thought was very attractive as well. So it's another company that's innovating in the future of workspace.
I think we have time maybe to talk about one more investment, Springboard. They do upskilling. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Springboard is solving the problem that I alluded to earlier, where universities really have failed to educate, create as many candidates that are qualified as we need. So I think there's more than 1 million people skills gap that currently exists. I'd be amazed if it doesn't increase over time as well. And so Springboard is a different model. So rather than paying a lot of money for a four-year degree that is out of date almost immediately, Springboard provides 6 to 9 month immersive courses in skill gap areas, and every student gets an industry mentor. So you can learn how to be a data scientist, for example, and you might be paired with a data scientist at Airbnb who's a mentor on Springboard in their own time. And so we found that matching of a mentor who's often quite senior in a dream job that the aspiring student is going after, we found that significantly increased motivation and completion rates. And so they've trained tens of thousands of students. Course Report said that they're the largest independent and second largest overall bootcamp provider, online bootcamp provider in the US. So they're of some significant scale now. And we just think it's a model that is very value add for the student. So you might pay they have lots of scholarships for females and underrepresented groups, but you might pay a few $1,000s for a course, and you'll work super hard to actually deliver this career transition. But at the end of that time, you'll be able to get a job that is on average $26,000 more in salary than before. And I think that's a really strong value proposition.
Sounds like a springboard to a great career. People have constantly been telling me that it's time that I went for some upskilling.
Maybe they have a course on like how to do a podcast.
That is key expansion area. So I will email the CEO straight after this.
Yep. Well, I need to be upskilled and out of here, and you have a whole day ahead of you, and at a reasonable hour. It's 7 a.m. now?
It's 7 a.m. and we're a very global fund, by the way. So we actually have done 74% of our invested dollars so far in the US. So whilst I'm based in Australia, we have 8 people in the US where I am, and the team is very actively investing in the US. So So we're a very global team, and we're just trying to find great companies wherever they exist, even if they're in out of the way places.
I
Sounds good to
I
us.
think you're.
Steven, you want to have the last
Yeah,
word?
I
Say thank you.
thank you, and I also think that it's pretty likely that you'll be hearing from a few of our listeners. That your LinkedIn URL is right there, so I assume that that's probably a good way for people to contact you.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome, Albert. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for getting up so early tomorrow to be with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Appreciate it.